Okay, so this post is all about if we should bring back gatekeeping to Ultimate PF, and the OP is Sloppy Top Toppy. Great name, by the way, Sloppy Top Toppy. Okay, so this is so, you know it's not stupid, this sudden chatter spam. Good God, Dribbins. Okay, anyways, I'm of the opinion that not everyone deserves an ultimate clear. As someone who has played and party findered in the game for the past 11 years, this is the worst iteration of PF I've ever seen. The quality of the average player has gone down significantly, and party finder is now running rampant with players who, quite frankly, do not know what is going on half the time. I think there are three main things ruining party finder at the moment, and I am curious as what the others think. I mean, PF is pretty bad right now. There's no denying that. It's, you guys know how every time when I do Ultimate PF on stream, it's like, oh my god, we actually got a clear on stream. Holy crap, we finally did it. You were recently taught Cure 3 was a waste of mana? No, it isn't. No, Cure 3 is a very, very, very powerful ability if you use it properly. Cure 3 is wonderful. This man farms down votes. I still want to read it. Okay, so his first complaint about party finder. Oh, you're spamming on one person? Okay, that's why. Yeah, Cure 3 situation. I can help you more in a bit. But okay, so his first complaint is clear squads. Okay, the idea that everyone deserves an ultimate clear is not healthy for the raid community. Ultimate clears are meant to be earned. Being carried 7 out of 8 across the finish line by people who are very experienced is not an accomplishment. Most, not all, of the players being clear for one by clear squads end up underperforming, but the 7 other raiders in the party make up for their lack of damage and awareness, and they learn nothing. They are then left up to their own devices in the party finder and end up inting others who then feel the need to go get clear for one because they are being griefed by those released by the clear squads. If you were not to take on any if you were to take on any iteration of 8 players that had been cleared by these squads and put them in their own party, they would not clear the fight. Okay. I'll look this argument against, I mean, okay's an emote? I mean, why are you saying Arthur's wrote this post? Oh, okay and okay are emotes. Do you want me to remove those? Do you want me to remove those? Yo, Parker, thank you for converting to a tier 1 sub. I link it. Just go find it yourself. I already linked. I mean, I might still have it. Here it is. Okay, so I don't necessarily think this opinion is wrong, but like I talked about this on my own. Clear squads, some clear squads do carry through Prog. One thing that Sauce and the Sayori's group Space Travelers have been doing recently, they've been doing these really big Prog events where they take someone, it's like, I don't know how many players in the groups are fully cleared helping one person prog, but there are some groups that do these super big prog events for some players. And I will say, some of the players that have been cleared by these clear squads they're not that good at the game, and sometimes they join clear for one parties in PF that people are doing like in the middle of the night. You know how sometimes I'll be streaming at like 8 or 9 p.m. I'll join random PF parties and it's a clear for one for a tank, and then we'll have someone join, and then that one person is just underperforming so unbelievably much, and then you look at them and you realize they got clear squatted. It's kind of a shitty feeling. I don't think the people that do the clear squads are inherently bad. They have good intentions, because helping people clear ultimates is a really good feeling. I'm personally someone who does a lot of clear for ones for people. I have done some clear for ones for Gil as well, but I think also drawing a fine line on helping someone clear versus carrying someone is, you have to be able to recognize the difference. There have been some people that I've cleared in UCOB that 100% have been carried. My first UCOB clear, do you want to know how many times I died in my first UCOB clear? Actually, you know what? Do you want to know how bad I got carried in my first UCOB clear? I literally disconnected in the first mechanic. I disconnected in Quick March, and I came back in Heaven's Fall. I missed almost the entire Bahamut phase because I disconnected from the game, and I still cleared, and I died to all 3 X's. My ass got carried through UCOB. My first clear, you know what? I can pull this shit up for you guys. Let me pull this shit up. No, my first UCOB clear was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. I cleared on August 14th of 2022, and you want to see how many times I died? I died to Mega Flare, and this is where I disconnected. This is Quick March. This is where I disconnected, and then I died to 3 X's. I died to all 3 X's. This was my first UCOB clear, and I will confidently say that I got my... No, this was a stacked PF. Oh my god, dude. Like, look at this PF. This was a stacked PF. I can confidently say my first UCOB clear, I 100% got carried. But I think being able to recognize when you get carried through a fight and not... You don't... Okay, when I got my first UCOB clear, I didn't go ahead and start joining random clear for ones in PF because I knew for a fact I would start griefing everyone. And I think some people that get clear squatted just don't recognize that. But it's not really their fault. You get the clear, and then you get this like feeling of self-accomplishment that makes you think that you can join clear for ones and you can help other players clear when you can't. I'm not saying there's clear squadron. I'm just giving my opinion. Like I said, I'll repeat what I said. I don't think clear squads are inherently a bad thing. I think they are really, what they're doing for the community is really good. But some of the players that they do clear just do not hold themselves accountable in PF anymore. They get their clear, and then they have this whole idea that, well, I've cleared the fight. That means I can join clear for ones. That means I can help other people clear when they can't, and when they just don't understand what's going on. Anyways, okay, another big issue that has been created by clear squads is the practice of people paying their way to a final phase log. If you were a regular in Party Finder, you've most definitely seen the paying 3 mil per if we see X phase parties. It's become common practice to pay your way to a final phase log so you can sign up for the next clear squad party. At the end of the day, it's their guild and they can do what they want with it, but they are just paying their way to open the doors to get carried. At the end of the day, it's cool that they want to help people clear. However, it sucks that most people they do clear are getting hard carried, and a lot of them are unable to get another totem themselves in Party Finder because they really were not ready to be cleared in the first place. That is my big gripe about clear squads. This is my big gripe about clear squads, and this is really true. And you can't just say simply don't PF. What if you don't have a group of 7 other players to play the game with, right? What if your only option is to PF? What if you work a full-time job, you don't have a set schedule, you can't commit to a static? Your only option is to PF, right? So then when you have these individuals here that get carried for their first clear and they join clear for ones and they don't understand the mechanics, it takes the state of PF and it diminishes it so much. And I just getting a totem in Party Finder is rough regardless. It used to be a little bit easier. I'm not like I'm saying again, I don't think it's solely the people that do clear squad's fault, but they definitely contribute to the people that are in PF that do not know what they're doing. They definitely do contribute. And I can fully admit that some people that I have cleared in DSR and in UCOB and yeah, in DSR and UCOB really. I think some of those people that we have cleared, we shouldn't have really cleared. But at the end of the day, it's then in non-person's hands to recognize if they think they'll be able to help other people out. And I think, and personally, I think a lot of people that do get clear for one, they just don't know what they're doing. They just don't know what they're doing. Because you have call-outs, you have... Like, okay, the thing about the clear squads, though, is that you have some of the best tanks and some of the best healers in a PF situation. Are you talking about it easier before top? Because people say PF struggle with top more than any other ultimates. You know what? I have actually had some of the best luck in top PF. Because I feel like a lot of the players... Like, okay... One of my friends that I play with when I go do top PF in like the middle of the night, he has so many people blacklisted that every time I play with him, I normally always get a totem. It's when I do is when I do Smoko Hours. Smoko Hours is probably one of the best, like, top parties you'll see. Because it's always full of pretty decent players. Yeah, no, DSR PF, it is absolutely atrocious. The amount of people I've seen got clear for one in top, I mean, the amount of people I've seen get clear for one in DSR that do not understand how to do Doth or Roth or how to adjust for Worm's Breath 1, it's insane. It actually boggles my mind how people don't understand how DSR mechanics work, because that's the thing about DSR to top. DSR is so much more like erratic than top is, whereas top is so much more static. It's the same shit over and over and over and over and over and over again, whereas DSR is just, it's chaos. DSR can be absolute chaos, where top is just the same shit. So those are the main differences. DSR is harder than top, whereas I think top is so easy because of auto marker, and that is this guy's next point. Okay, auto marker has already been a hot topic this past week, so I'm not going to touch on it too much. The use of AM and PF has brought down the overall skill level of players. It also enables clear squads to carry people much easier in fights, mainly P5 of top. It is contributing to the influx of players being thrown into PF who did not deserve their clears. The use of AM has poisoned PF into thinking it's necessary and you cannot clear without. At this point in time, I've come to accept that it will continue to plague us now and for all future ultimates till the developers actually decide to address the issue. Yes, I understand that phases such as P5 top feel like ass without it. However, is that not the point of an ultimate? If you're taking the challenge out of it, then what is the point of doing it? The shiny weapon means nothing if you truly didn't earn it. Like, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you go to a majority of people that have cleared top, especially like with auto marker, and you ask them how Dynamis works, they're not going to know how Dynamis works, and that's a pretty big issue. Not understanding how a major mechanic works is kind of crazy, because in the situations where your AM fails, no one's gonna know what to do, and I think that is the main issue with auto marker and in phase 5. If your auto marker fails to work in phase 5 of top, no one's gonna know what to do. No one knows the priorities. No one knows how Dynamis works. AM isn't really breaking the game. It just removes a person or two from having to manually do it. Yeah, no, that is the main thing. I do think that AM isn't. It's not bad. It's just taking away some responsibility from other players. Like, okay, if there was an auto marker, I'm telling this right now, if the developers were to take away auto marker from the game, people in PF would 100% make one certain role have to auto mark. And I'm telling you right now, the role that would probably have to mark people would be healers. It would be healers. Yeah, you don't need one person to manually mark if everyone learns prowl for who goes where. But I do think if they get rid of auto marker, PF is going to put responsibility on someone else. It would be healers 100%. I mean, but there are priorities for UU without using auto marker. There are priorities. Isn't the priority like healer is 3, tank is 1, and then DPS is 2? Isn't that the priority for UU? Yeah, it's healer 3, tank 1, DPS 2. That's a priority for jails in UU if you don't have AM. Then we have a true healer shortage of PF. No, if you put the responsibility of marking players on the healers, healers are going to stop healing. So auto marker basically takes away the responsibility for one or two players to have to mark everyone in the party, which that's why I don't think auto marker is a bad thing. It's an accessibility tool that's there. It's commonly used, and if you're not using it, you're brainwashed into thinking it's cheating, which I used to think auto marker was cheating. When I first started getting into raiding in this game, I could not believe the things that people use in the world race. I couldn't believe it. You remember when Neverland cleared DSR and everything that they used came to everyone's realization? I couldn't believe it. But now that I've been raiding for about 2 years, it's just like, okay, everyone uses these tools. Next to everyone uses these tools. Next to everyone uses some form of tool to make the game easier. It's so unbelievably common at this point that everyone arguing against AM is just you're just being mad for the reason of just being mad. And at the end of the day, if you are so butthurt about AM and you hate it so much, don't PF. Because the way that this game works, if you're going to Party Finder, there's going to be auto marker. And if you do not like auto marker, just don't PF. I think gatekeeping is... It varies. I think when you're in the end of an expansion like this, you don't really need to gatekeep the ultimates as much. Like Legacy Ultimate, those fights are so unbelievably easy to carry one person through at this point that it's just... It doesn't matter at this point. Like, you cleared UCOP, congratulations. Everyone else on the Bjortzia planet has cleared UCOP too. Like, how many? I have like 70 UCOP clears because I'm a schizo who just likes to clear people in UCOP. I wouldn't say there's new drama, it's just talking about it. Anyways, his last point is talking about inexperienced raiders. Okay, there is a huge amount of people with little to no Savage experience coming into Ultimate Party Finder. From my experience, this has happened to me mostly in Uwu. This is actually really fucking common. The amount of people that, especially recently, there have been a lot of players that have gotten into Final Fantasy 14 and then they do Uwu because they think that what they're doing in the game is too easy, but then they join Uwu and they have no idea what's going on. I remember my friend was telling me how the other day when someone joined their Uwu clear for one party, but they didn't know what an ultimate was. So I thought that was really weird. They had joined the party and they kept wiping them nonstop until they were just like, do you have any idea what you're doing? But there are a lot of people that no, because one of the common things that people say about Uwu is that Uwu is just a harder, it's just people say Uwu is just a Savage fight. And if you say that Uwu is just a Savage fight, you're going to make these players that have never done Savage just go into Uwu because it'd be like, okay, well, what's the point of doing Savage if I can just go into Uwu? A lot of people have done that. I did Uwu after I cleared my first Savage tier. So after I cleared Asphodelos is when I did Uwu. And Uwu, do you guys want to know how long it took me to clear Uwu in PF? It took me about 3 months. April, May, June, July, August. No, it took me about 5 months actually. 4 full months. Yeah, it took me 4 full months to clear Uwu in PF. What a shame. Was this on release? No, it was almost 2 years ago. Yeah, it's almost been 2 years. I started raiding about 2 years ago. Yeah, I started raiding about 2 years ago. Uwu took me about 4 months. DSR took me 8 months. And I will say this is also my thing about clear squads though. I want to go back to this point. I am someone who did get clear for one. I got clear for one in DSR, but it was also a matter of that I spent 8 months trying to clear DSR and PF. I spent 8 months. I spent hundreds of hours. That's why nowadays when I join parties and we keep wiping to Die from Grace and Eyes, I get so frustrated because I have insane PTSD from progging this fight. Like, it took me 8 months. And I got clear for one. I got clear for one by some of my good friends, which I don't really talk to them anymore, but the thing is though, I'm not trying to like inflate my own ego or anything, but I genuinely think I deserved my DSR clear, and I think everyone that gets clear squatted thinks they deserve their clears too. But being able to recognize if you don't understand the mechanics fundamentally is one of the big issues, I think, from people that are getting clear squatted. Because I'll have people join my parties and it like... There have been a few times on stream where I'll literally have people join my party and I look at them do mechanics and I'm like, do you have any idea what is going on? No, yeah. You 100% support clear squads. It's the people that can't perform outside of them that's the problem. And that's also one more thing about the clear squads. So the people that actually are inside of the clear squads, they never really have to deal with the issues that they create in a sense. The people that they clear, they are never going to play with them ever again. There is such a slim chance that they ever play with those guys ever again. And I don't know. Why am I exposing me like this when I joined your PF? I literally do not know who you are. I don't know who you are, man. Yeah. But okay. People keep preaching that it is the easiest ultimate and anyone can do it. This statement cannot be anything further than the truth. It is still an ultimate fight and should be treated like one. You can tell who has actually played the game before entering and who has not. I've seen many times where people who do not have a class at level 80, yet entering level 70 ultimates and running it down. People need to stop encouraging others to go do things they are clearly not ready for. There are steps someone should take before the enter of an ultimate fight. Going from point A to C and skipping B does not work at all. People should be studying and getting better at the game before stepping into higher level content, and encouraging them to go in any earlier is toxic. TLDR. Once again, not everyone deserves an ultimate clear. Clear squads in AM are toxic for the PF environment. People should actually work for their clears instead of signing up on a form to be scheduled for their totem spoon feeding session. Good God. It should be a raider's responsibility to gather the info on the fight they're joining and about to do, otherwise they're just lying for progress moniker at this point. I think there is one more thing that people need to recognize too, is that this is a team game. You're not playing alone. You're playing with 7 other people, and you need to respect their times. This is why I hold myself very accountable in PF. If I'm in a party finder and I know that I'm not playing to the best of my abilities, I will simply type a chat and be like, hey, I'm not playing that good right now. I'm going to drop. Hopefully you guys can find a better player, because I just feel like I'm causing too many mistakes to be here right now, and I don't want to waste people's time. That's one thing people really need to recognize. This isn't a single player game. This is a team game. You're playing with 7 other players. That's the big thing though. And I don't think necessarily clear squads and AMs are toxic for PF. I understand what he's trying to get at with this post, because at the end of the day, getting clear squatted and using AM and everything takes away a little bit from like the achievement. Like I've cleared every ultimate without auto marker, and I've cleared the only ultimate that I got clear for one in UCOB, which I did not deserve, but I got clear for one in DSR, which I felt like I did deserve, and DSR has come to be one of my favorite fights. I cleared T with a group, it was a clear for 6. I cleared top with a group and it was a clear for 6, and Uwu, oh my god, I think it was a clear for 3 or 4 when I cleared Uwu. But oh, this is weird. I kind of want to look at the comments. There are 222 comments. Let's be honest. PayPal has brought down the overall skill level of play. PayPal? Well, that's a whole different can of worms. I do not support paying real money. I don't support paying players like actual real life money to pay people to clear them. There is one thing. You can literally, I don't know what the name of the website is called, but you can search up like ffxiv top clear buy, and it's like, I can find it. Let me pull it up. Okay. Okay, so you want to see it? Here it is. Oh, I almost doxed myself. Jesus. Are you sure you weren't getting in trouble for that? I'm not going to show it, but I will tell you what it says. So if you want to pay to get a top clear, it's $160. If you want to pay to get a DSR clear, it's $140. T is $100. UU is $100. UCOB is $100. Get all 5 of the ultimates for $510. But also keep in mind, you're paying $160 and you're splitting it 8 ways, because these are pilots. So you're splitting it 8 ways. So if it's $160, you're only paying $20 per person, because you're splitting it 8 ways. I know a few people personally who have the Legacy Ultimate tiles from buying them, already bought the account. I think that's the main issue with people when it comes to the Legacy Ultimates. Legacy Ultimates have kind of lost their meaning, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing that Ultimates are getting easier and more people are clearing Ultimates, because once you get into raiding in this game, if you like raiding in this game, you're gonna do it no matter what the state of PF is. I don't think Ultimates being easier is a better way of putting it, but I think Ultimates as they age just they kind of lose a bit of meaning, I guess, for the first clear. Like clearing top and DSR on patch is infinitely, I guess, more impressive than clearing top and DSR now. But it's still not a bad thing to clear top and DSR now. It's still a big accomplishment. But personally, I don't think it's as big as an accomplishment as it used to be. What's the best job for solo? Probably warrior. Warrior is a tank. You can heal yourself. I knew someone that got piloted and top on content. Oh yeah, no, there are also a bunch of players who get piloted and pay for their clears on content and then they flaunt it around, and it's just, I always find people like that to be a little funny. My sense on ultimates that I don't even bother because it's such a time investment. No, ultimates are time investment, and that's why personally, that's why it kind of does suck seeing all these players get cleared. And like, when people say they cleared UCOB, I mean, when people say they cleared top in 1 week of prog, I'm just sitting there like, what do you mean you cleared top in 1 week? Like, what do you mean you cleared top in 1 week? Because, and I feel like that's a really big issue too, is because the people that are getting their ultimate clears now are not having to go through the real prog experience. So when the next ultimates come out, they're going to lose their minds. I know, I'm not gonna name this player, but there was this one player who they got a really good group of players to clear them through DSR, and it took them, what, like a week, 2 weeks, and they were very excited about it. They were very happy about it. They were very proud of themselves for it. And then when top came out, they thought they had the ability to, no, this is a friend of mine, but my friend thought that I'm not talking about Zepla. No, I don't really know anything about Zepla. I know Zepla got clear for one, but, I think this is a much more common thing. Zepla did the same thing. Well, I'm not talking about Zepla. I don't really consume any of Zepla's content. I don't know what she has done in the rating regards of this game. But I think clearing an ultimate in such a minimal amount of time is just setting you up for failure. Because then you'll go into the next ultimate and you'll just be like, holy, this is really hard to clear on content. This is really, like, you're gonna go into the next ultimate, you're gonna go into FRU and being like, I'm gonna clear this fight in 2 weeks, and then you're gonna be sitting there for months trying to clear the fight. Like, okay, top, I cleared top in 4 weeks when I started my prog, but it was because I was with a really good group of friends, and it was fresh prog for 6 of us, and that is not the same as fresh prog for 8. That is not the same. So I'm trying to also, like, I'm trying to gauge how I want to approach FRU, because I know it's going to be very difficult to prog as a clear for 8, because I got a clear for 6. DSR is insanely fun and top is literally miserable. No, I know. I just don't like top. If they lose their mind, they just lose their mind. It is what it is. I will say I've lost my mind a few times in prog, because I'll just be sitting there like, schedule at least 150 hours for FRU prog. No, my plan for FRU is that I'm going to set aside like an entire full month to get my clear. An entire month. That's my plan. I don't plan on sitting there and being like, I'm gonna clear this fight in 1 week, I'm gonna clear this fight in 2 weeks. Now, I genuinely think I will probably clear top. I'll probably clear FRU in like 4 weeks. And that, personally for me, would be a really good accomplishment for me. If I clear FRU in the first month, that is my goal. My goal is to clear FRU in the first month. My goal is also to clear Savage in the first week. I think I could personally do it. I have improved a lot as a player in the past year, ever since top came out and all that. I'm gonna read the comments on this now. I can make 3 million by carrying some idiot to gold, and where do I sign up? Actually, dude, let me see if there are any Merc parties in PF right now. These are so unbelievably common. Yeah, gold is the same about cheering on Dungeon. I'll be cheering you on too, Parthona. And also, I want to reiterate again. I do not think the players in clear squads are bad people. But I do think some of the players that have been cleared did not deserve their clears. I want to make that very clear before people take what I said out of context. Okay? I think clear squads are a great thing to do. It is, at the end of the day, it is something to do when there is a severe lack of content in the game. What do you mean by deserve? I think you can, okay. I don't think everyone deserves an ultimate clear. And I definitely do not think everyone deserves level 90 ultimate clear as it stands right now. I do not think so. I don't think people that have spent like a week in a fight deserve a clear. If you haven't put in the time and effort to clear a fight, you do not deserve a clear. Not everyone that gets clear is a best player. Everyone deserves to win if you worked hard for it. As clear as a clear. Yeah, that's what I think. That's why. Yeah. Everyone deserves a clear if you have worked hard for it. But I know so many people that they literally. Oh my god! I had someone talk to me about this, and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, I paid my friends to help me see the final phase, and I got a clear for one." And I was like, "What do you mean? Do you mean Do you mean you need to 100% understand every mechanic to deserve a clear? No, absolutely not. I just think there's a difference between deserving a clear and not deserving a clear. And I don't think I'm in the wrong for saying that, but I'm also not trying to gatekeep ultimates. But I don't think everyone deserves an ultimate clear. You don't need to 100% understand every mechanic, but you need to understand them to a decent extent. So what constitutes deserving a clear? Putting in the effort. Putting in the time and effort. Ultimate was made for everyone. Ultimate was 100% not made for everyone. Ultimate is some of the hardest content in the game. It is not made for everyone. And not everyone deserves a clear. Your average casual raider doesn't deserve a clear. I think everyone must understand the role 100% to deserve a clear. I don't know about that. I don't think you need to 100% understand your, and you have an ultimate weapon? Yeah, and you wanna know why I have an ultimate weapon? Do you wanna know how many hours I have spent in this game raiding? Like, okay. This is my playtime. My playtime is 219 days and 5 hours. And I'm telling you, at least 175 days of playtime is just being in Ultimates and being in Savage. I have spent so much time getting better as a player, improving on myself, trying to understand mechanics, so I don't waste 7 other people's time. And I feel like I deserve my clears. When I worked so hard to get my top clear, and I do understand, are we talking about a video game or what? No, this is why I love talking about this topic of conversation, because so many people lose their minds if you say that some people don't deserve an ultimate clear. You know, it's funny, people have this everyone deserves a clear mentality for ultimates. When Yoshi P himself talked about about UCOV's release, that this content is not for everyone, and it's not supposed to hold your hand if you want to earn it. And that's the thing, though. I think ultimates have changed so much in the past 10 years. How many years ago did UCOV come out? Like, when UCOV came out, there was only a certain handful of people who wanted to challenge them. It is a challenge. It is not easy content. Not everyone deserves a clear. Not everyone is going to get it clear. Just because you want it doesn't necessarily mean you deserve it. A lot of people, okay, this is one thing in life too. Just because you want something doesn't mean you deserve it. And you know what? I'm going to say something really too. I really want to get invited to Media Tour, but I don't deserve it.